Once again, it's on to another episode of the Relationship Rehab. I'm your boy Brian Redmond, and this is another opportunity for us to become better versions of ourselves so that we can change the world one person at a time, right? So, this is a question that was actually asked a couple of weeks ago at a retreat that I'm a part of. It's called the Chicago Couples Retreat. Shout out to the Chicago Couples Retreat, CCR. But one of the questions that was asked was, what are the roles in a relationship for like the man and the woman? Okay, so I think it's something that I hope that I answered pretty good. So I wanted to kind of like take some time to just revisit it here. And I think that what I'm going to say today is just the surface part. It's just talking about like basic core functions of both sides. And hopefully we can tie it all together to maybe really get some clarity on what our actual roles are, because sometimes we don't know whether you weren't taught that or whether you just never really truly understood or had that explanation given to you as far as what your role is as a man, what are your core roles or your core values as a woman, and how do you guys make that work together. So I kind of like wanted to simplify it, and let's see what happens. So in my opinion, I would probably say that the roles of the man and the woman, I kind of like want to think of them, because when a man and a woman comes together, they become one flesh and all that good stuff, right? One body. So I kind of took that whole concept and I just broke it down into like a couple of main vital organs. So when we're talking about the man is like the brain, right? When you're talking about a body, man is the brain of the body. And I say that because I believe that men, we are pretty much kind of like the ambassadors of logic. Everything that we do, the way that we approach things in life, the way that we approach things in our everyday situations, we approach them logically. We have a methodical, systematic approach when it comes to those type of things. So when we're talking about the man, the ambassadors of logic, we are the problem solvers, we are providers, we are protectors. And at the end of the day, our main purpose is that we are like architects, right? We design, we create, and when we're talking about just being a unit, that's pretty much our core things that we do and that we bring to the table. Now, as far as women are concerned, I would say that the woman is more like the heart. They are what I would call the ambassadors of love. They are the first teachers. They are the nurturers. They're like the lifeblood. You know, they make everything go round. They make it work. They are the grease in the gears. They are the clockwork. They are the encourager. They're the producers. They are the manifestors. I like that, manifestors. That's what the women are. Women manifest. They make things work like nobody's business. So when you're talking about both sides and how they come together and how they work together, you have men that are like the architects, but you have women that are the actual producers. They're the ones that actually can bring those designs and those creations and those things that we begin to spark and are the catalyst of as men. It is the woman that actually brings those things to fruition. And the reason why I say that is because they are that support system, that encourager. They are the ones that actually keep us going. And that's why I kind of did the heart reference, because at the end of the day, you have your limbs, and yeah, the brain controls those limbs. Yeah, the brain is the nerve center, that ultimate processing, central processing unit, if you will. But it's the heart that pumps the blood, that keeps everything going, that allows those things to work. So it's like one can't survive without the other, because what's a beating heart without a brain? It can't do anything. And what's a brain without a beating heart? It can't do anything either. So you have to have both of those. When you're talking about your arms and your legs and all that kind of stuff, the rest of the body, that's totally different. That can be broken down into kids, into friends, into networks and all that kind of stuff. But those main core parts, that heart and that head, those are the things that make everything else work. Because without your heart and your head, your hands, are not going to fulfill purpose, right? Fulfill the purpose that they may be deemed to do. So they're both critically important. You can't have one without the other. So this whole thing to where men and women, we tend to have these roles, and they tend to be sometimes clouded or mixed up. It's not that a woman can't or that a man can't do those other things. I'm talking strictly about what we're best at. So when you're talking about, and for somebody who may see this and say, well, I'm particularly better at nurturing, or I'm a man and I'm a better encourager than my wife. Okay, then you're that 1% or that small percentage that may be different. But that one exception to the rule does not make the rule, right? So that's exactly what I'm talking about, is just in general, and those core principle values that man and that woman bring to the table. That's what I believe is there, and they both work together, because you can't have one without the other. And I believe that when you are a man and you have those things in place, that's what you're good at. When you're a woman and you have those things in place, and that's what you're good at. When you bring two people that are great at certain things and you bring them together, then they can really be really great together, and they can work together. So you're not doing this, you're doing this. Because if you got two architects, now you got two people that are trying to create and trying to design, and nobody's there to manifest, right? So when you don't have someone to manifest, then what? You can't build anything essentially, because you don't have a manifester. But when you can have that architect and that manifester, when you can have that encourager and that provider, when you can have the protector and you can have the lifeblood and all those things, and you can have those people come together, then they can actually make some things happen. So it's like, be what you're best at, and don't let the things that you're not so good at, don't let that be the thing that holds you back into being great. Because we can be great sometimes, we can be good by ourselves, but we can be great with other people. So it's like, when you're thinking about what those roles are, who does what, yeah, everybody can do everything. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that you can't, but what I'm saying is you're best at doing those few things that you know that you're great at. When you can do that, and you can have somebody else complement that are just as great as doing a few other things, and you can come together, then you can accomplish a lot more, and you can do it a lot more efficiently, because you both are great at certain things, and those things coming together is what can truly manifest something that is incredible, something that is awesome. So keep those things in mind. I would really like to dive into it, but I don't have that much time, because I think that we can really get into a lot of things. I think I'm gonna probably maybe do another episode about just like the love portion of that too, and how that works. But this particular here, just in those core roles and what each person is supposed to do, that's what I believe. Men are like the brains, women are like the heart. You can't have one without the other, and when those two are working together, then you can accomplish a lot of great things with those limbs. You can accomplish so many other things with those visions and all that kind of stuff, because you have those complementing parts working together. So I hope that this helps. I hope that this brings some clarity, and maybe even bring a bigger discussion about what we can talk about as far as how people feel about those things. So be sure to like, share, and with the information that's in the box below, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe, and hopefully this is something that you can use that'll make you become a better version of yourself.